Hey guys, welcome back. If you're here, you know you are watching the Dior group.
But the Dior group, we here.
We're here.
We're locked and loaded. You didn't even dance move? What was that
know.
move?
That was my new little dance
Okay,
move.
I don't think there's nothing that's old.
No, I made that up.
You made that up?
It up?
I don't know. But welcome, guys. Thank you for watching us again. Thank you for being here.
Yes.
We're humble. We're grateful that you are even watching these videos. We hope they're helping. But again, our mission is very, very simple with these videos, man. It's to leave you a little bit better than we found you. So just to add a little value in your life, wherever you see fit, like wherever we can apply value and knowledge to your life, we want to help you, whether it's in business, whether it's in your relationship, whatever. We want to help you, man, if we can help you.
Get that money.
That's what we're here to do, man, here to help people. What's up, though, man? You looking good. You got your French braids in?
Y'all.
Okay.
So side note. The fact that he spoke on it, I wasn't even going to say anything. I have been trying to do this hairstyle for like 5 years. Could never get it, guys. I tried. But I said, you know what? I'm going to try every day for 2 weeks. And if I still don't have it every day after 2 weeks for trying 30 minutes, you know what? Maybe it's not for me.
Okay.
Oh my gosh. On like day 3, I got it. So I was like, look at that. Look what consistency does for you.
Look what repetition does.
Look what it
doing
does.
something over and over and over and over. Eventually, you get it. And you got it, man.
I did. I still have a little bit of work, but I mean.
French braid shorty.
Cool. French braid
shorty in your all navy. You
Yeah.
looking good. I tried to match up my little blue shirt. Match a little bit. Match a little bit.
20.
Match a little bit. But yeah, man. What you thinking today? What's your energy like?
We've actually been on a little vacay, so you could say. We haven't done content in a couple days, so we're just getting back into it. Get back in the swing of things and stuff. You know, every day, sometimes you got to take off and reset. So that's what we did, but we are back. And while we were gone, I think that we thought about a topic of triggers. Isn't that what you was thinking about?
First off, it's February 1st, so we're going to first. We're not going to speed past what February 1st starts, what it kicks off. The beginning of February, each and every year for the past, I don't know how many years, man, is Black History Month, right? So shout out to, all the Black African-American pioneers who came before us, right, to pave the way for us. That's what February is all about, man. Giving shout out to the people who did it before us, man, the icons that paved the way for us to come in here and do what we do, man. Sit in front of you guys and talk to the world, man. I love it. I absolutely love it. But triggers, man. Triggers. We talked about triggers in our meeting, right? In our morning meeting, we talked about,
in
triggers.
Our boardroom meeting.
Yeah, and I had a thought, man. In terms of when I speak to people, the goal is to get you to move, right? To get you to think a different way or feel some type of way to do something different. Yeah. And by definition, that's kind of like a trigger. Like that's what triggers you. So I'm trying to find out what triggers somebody to actually get them up and going and moving, right? So that's all a trigger is. A trigger is something that when it happens, it causes you to either think a certain way or do something different.
Okay.
But when I thought about that, I said, well, Adam, what were your triggers? What were some of your triggers that happened throughout your life that changed the course of your life? That altered what you were doing at the time and started doing something else. Okay. And so a simple trigger for me, man, and everybody's trigger is going to be different. And she'll know what my trigger is. She's still like,
no, because I told him, don't tell me. I said, surprise me during the video. Let me see.
Yes. So basically back in, I don't know what year it was. It had to be 2000 and...
I do know what his trigger is.
Had to be like 2015, I think. Maybe 2014, 2015. It was a while ago. I'll say 2015.
Wait, before you say anything, does it have to do with a party?
Absolutely.
Okay, I do know what his trigger is. Okay, go ahead.
Maybe right? It was around about 2015, and this is what triggered me, right? So my beautiful wife, she was my girlfriend at the time. We were living in, Statesboro, Georgia. That's where we went to school and we worked at. But one weekend, her and her friend went to this party, right? Went to Atlanta to go party, and I had no problems with the party, of course, none at all. But during the day, my wife called me, girlfriend at the time, right? Called me and said, "Hey, look, my friend, she just met this, quote unquote rapper. He's a rapper.
I'm about to say he's a rapper.
He's a famous rapper. I'm not going to discredit what he does. He's a famous rapper." And she said, "Hey, she met him on the train, I think." So he met him on the train, and that's all I knew about the story, right? Fast forward the story up. It's
not bad, guys.
It's not a bad story. Fast forward the story up. Come to find out, not only did she meet that famous rapper on the train in Atlanta, he also invited him out to come to the club in the section. right? And you know when that happens, you know it's a party, things going on, yada, yada, yada.
Disclaimer, me and my other friend who were together, we actually weren't going to go.
It was three friends.
Yeah, it was 3 friends. And my other friend was like, no, girl, we got to get this, we got to go. So we're like, okay, cool, we're in Atlanta, we're going to go.
Yes.
And then Adam gets a phone call.
Then we get a phone call, right? And we get a phone call saying they partied in this section. You know, we was in this section having fun. I'm like, well, you didn't tell me you're going to the park with this rapper. And I'm thinking like rappers on TV.
He was fussing me out at this point.
You see the music videos. Like, you
got
gotta know the music videos. But no, yeah. but kind of the fast forward past that part. So they met the rapper, and he had an entourage with him, like most rappers do in Atlanta. You know, they got the entourage with him, which could be the manager's best friend, homeboy, cousin, whatever.
Yeah.
Right. So I knew those people were around in the area. Of course, my wife's beautiful. You'd be a fool not to try to shoot your shot.
Hey, okay.
I get it, right? But if that shit get blocked, you know what happened.
It did get blocked.
It did get blocked all across the what you call it. But anyway, so that event happened. That event passed. Then maybe, I don't know, maybe a month or so later, a couple months later. I don't know how long it was later, right? But somehow, somebody in this rapper's entourage, like one of his homeboy friends or whatever, happened to be in small little Statesboro, Georgia. Like, I don't know how that happened. Like, Statesboro, Georgia is a real small blip on the map. Only thing they have is Georgia Southern University. So I don't know why this guy in the entourage would be there. Maybe because it's a college town and he's doing work. I don't know what it was.
I can't remember why he was there.
Nobody knows why he was there. But he happened to, I'll call him an angel, right? I call him some kind of different kind of angel. But he was an angel because it kind of was one part of my trigger, right? Yeah. And you know, he's seen her again. He's like, man, I just saw you, I guess, a couple months ago at this club in this section. You remember me? Yada, yada, yada. But my wife, I didn't know about this story. So my wife called me or came home and told me about the story.
I should have told him because it mom.
No, it didn't. No, it didn't. It never me off. So here's the thing.
It triggered
me. It triggered me in a good way though, right? Because the conversation was happening. My wife was having a conversation, and she told me the conversation verbatim. I'm pretty sure it wasn't word for word, but it was a concept of the story. The story was this.
I think I told you the truth.
I didn't say you didn't tell me the truth. I'm just saying it probably was that you probably there for an hour or so.
Yeah.
You told me the conversation in 5 minutes. Okay. So there's no way 60 minutes of tough conversation came back to me. That's all I'm saying. So I got the Reader's Digest version. Okay. I got the shorthand version of it, which is all I need to hear. Because it was this. The guy in the entourage tried to push up on her again, like, hey, look, baby, like, here, kid, to go the keys to my car. Like, you leave with me, like, you can have the car, all that stuff, right? And she's like, no, I got a man. And
my man was doing good at Statesboro, by the way. In Statesboro, my man was the man. So He was the man.
I thought I was doing good at Statesboro.
You was.
I didn't know what was going on. So anyway, back to the story, right? Story's almost there. Here's the trigger. Yeah. Here's the trigger.
What'd he say?
The man has said this. He said, Amber said, I got a man, I'm straight, you know, I don't need nothing, I'm good, I don't look for money, whatever he said to him. He was like, baby, your man cannot do for you what I can do for you because your man work at Verizon. Now, I don't know how this man knew I worked at Verizon, right? I don't know how he knew.
I told him he worked at Verizon. I told him he had a good check.
She told him, okay, that's what happened.
Yeah, because he was throwing up money. And I was like, oh, one thing I do not play by is my man. I'm going to make y'all, I got the biggest, best man in the world. Yep. Let all y'all gonna know that. And that's how it was.
So that's how the conversation went, right? So, but that one phrase and line, when she came back home and told me that in 2015, was it 15 or 14? It was close to one of those years. When she came back home and told me that, I didn't respond verbally. Like, she never knew that. I told her like maybe 5 years later, this triggered me. Like, this was one of the triggers. But when I heard that, something inside of me said, Adam, you got to do something different. Now, like you said, I was doing good at Verizon. Yeah, I was making like $85,000 a year fresh out of college.
And for Statesboro, the rent's only $500 all inclusive.
Oh, you the man. I bought a brand new Challenger. Like 2014 was one of the freshest ones in the city. So people knew me now. I had a look, you know what I'm saying? But here's the thing. The thing was that one line. Hey, man, look, your man cannot do for you what I can do for you because he work at Verizon. I'm not knocking Verizon. I'm just saying the thought process. When I heard that, I was like, I gotta go get it, right? I don't want any other man to be able to do for my girl, like, anything that I can't do.
And he also told me he could buy my life. That's what I remember. That stuck with me. I'm like, you could buy my life. You can't buy my life. Like, people with money, I guess, think different. They say different stuff. But I remember that part. And I'm like, what?
People who are arrogant and cocky with money say the words. And again, I used to be one of those arrogant guys before I found wisdom, right? But again, those statements, buy your life, take my car, I got plenty of car, you can have my car. Or your man can't do for you what I can do for you because he work at Verizon. That triggered me, y'all. that triggered me, right? That sent me on a almost like a tailspin.
Yeah.
My mind started thinking differently. I was a sales rep at the time. I said, you know what? I got to start doing some more boss stuff. So I wanted to go up in management.
Yeah.
I got up in management, but the check didn't increase too much. So I said, you know what? I got to find something different to do. But it all started from that one trigger. Now, whatever your trigger is, we don't know that. Like, whatever I can say to you right now to get you uncomfortable, to make you feel the type of way, like, that's what I want to say. But I don't know the words. I don't know what it is, but you know what it is.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you probably heard those words before.
Yeah.
Maybe those words didn't move you.
If you live in Atlanta, you have.
Oh, if you live in Atlanta, you've heard it. Like if you live in Atlanta, you've heard it because it's all kind of ballers. This is what Flex City. We call Atlanta Flex City. That's what it is, man. City of the flexing. And if people got it, they're gonna show you they got it, or they're gonna tell you they got it anyway.
Yeah.
But yeah, man, that's kind of what I want to talk about in terms of what triggered me. What are your thoughts on triggers, though?
That was crazy. I actually did not think you were going to say that because Adam's one of the people like if you tell him something, it doesn't matter like if it's like 10 years later, like he remembers stuff like that. Meanwhile, I'm like another day that's gone, but in his mind, he'd be like, that stuff sticks with him. So I'm actually kind of glad that it triggered him to go forward. But when you're talking about triggers, I guess I'll tell you what my trigger is. I'm not really, Adam's always taking care of me, by the way. Like, I'll put that disclaimer in. Adam has, since I've known him, he's always taking care of me. Like, I got lucky. But anywho, so my trigger is Adam. And I don't know if that's because he has been here and he has taken care of me in such a way, but no man, no woman, no millionaire, no billionaire, nobody can say anything about Adam. If you say anything about Adam, Amber is going into attack. Like, I'm livid. So when people talk about Adam sometimes or say certain comments that I don't necessarily agree with, that triggers me to move. Because I'm like, y'all ain't going to think that my man needs y'all, and y'all ain't going to think that my man XYZ, like, y'all just ain't going to think that. So that actually triggers me to move and help him in certain ways. I ain't got to help too much, but...
And that's and that's how the birth of the Dior group was formed.
Yeah.
It was a partnership of two people. What triggered me and what triggered her. So her probably seeing, hey man, look, I see other people in the business making a bunch of money. My man just as good as them.
Better.
So let's combine forces. Let's use our triggers, right? What triggers us both emotionally? Let's put them in a positive vehicle though. Let's put them in a system, an opportunity, and let's give it all we got and go run. But that's kind of like triggers is like knowing what your trigger is everything. But the other thing is that trigger led me to, gaining the entrepreneurial spirit, right? So giving me the courage, right? Giving me the courage to quit my corporate America, quit Verizon Wireless. That comment eventually, maybe 2-3 years later, caused me to quit Verizon Wireless. Like that caused me to pull the trigger and say, you know what? I gotta do something different.
Yeah.
Like I gotta start actively searching for something different because if I don't change, nothing's ever gonna change. Like if I don't change my situation, if I don't change the job that I'm in, nothing's ever gonna change. I'll always be the guy saying, people saying about, hey look, girl, you fine, girl. Like your man can't do what you I can because he work at Verizon, baby. Like I never want to hear that again in my life, right? Never. Even though it was true. Like, it was true.
It wasn't true.
The thing about it is, again, I couldn't walk my wife and say, hey, man, here's a car. Like, take this car. I couldn't walk and say I could buy your life. I don't want to buy anybody's life. But still, the facts are the facts.
Yeah.
Facts are the facts. I couldn't go hand her, a Bentley key and say, you know what? Take the Bentley. Like, and you had a car. Just be my girlfriend. Like, be my fiance. Take the car. You can have it, baby. Take it. I was like, man, people really doing that kind of stuff?
Yeah.
But again, man, it's what triggered me. It's why I pulled the trigger and say, you know what? I gotta do something different. Like I have to start doing something different. Was it scary? Was it risky?
Most definitely.
It's scary.
One kid, but I mean, he was a baby at the time. Like 1, 2. He was 2. So I mean, you gotta think like. I can't imagine how you were thinking to think like I have to take care of a household, I have to take care of a whole woman and a whole kid and pay all the bills because she ain't making no money, and you still did it though.
Listen, man, because I think eventually people realize that the most risky thing you can do is play it safe. Like playing it safe is risky. I could have played it safe. I could have stayed in corporate America. I could have stayed, doing the moving up the corporate ladder, as they say. I could have continued to do that, which is safe. That was safe. But ultimately, 20 years down the road, it could have been very risky. I could have lost my wife 20 years from now. Who knows, right? Financial stress, financial burden. I get laid off. Who just knows whatever happens?
Yeah.
Right. So in my mind, playing it safe is risky. Like, quitting my job wasn't risky. Like, that wasn't risky for me. For me, I'm like, I have no other option. If I stay in this vehicle doing the same thing I'm doing right now, that's taking a big risk.
Correct.
I may never be able to live the life that I imagined and dreamed if I stay doing the regular degular, I call it.
Yeah.
Doing the average and ordinary. It won't happen. So for me, playing it safe is risky. That's just how I think about it. What you think?
No, I'm glad. I mean, that's crazy, guys. Like, I'm still shocked that this man is still thinking about that 5 years later. Like, that was a trigger. That's crazy. But at the same time, I'm kind of glad that it happened because, like you said, you're here now.
Yep.
But I thought your trigger was when, no names, when your DM came to you. Was this part of it? When your DM came to you and said if you give him 5 years that you'll be district manager, and you're like, 5 years, and the pay grade from GM to district manager wasn't like crazy. So was that like the extra push you needed, or was that kind of really the first trigger, the only thing you needed?
Oh no, so during that conversation, I was already telling him I was done.
Oh, okay.
That was his attempt to save and say, hey, look, give me 5 more years. So that kind of reaffirmed my decision was perfect.
Okay.
That reaffirms that Adam, that what he just said shows you that this is not where you need to be. Because he was saying, hey man, look, give me 5 years and you keep making, over 100K a year, like easily. I'm like, bro, I'm trying to make that like right now. I'm not waiting 5 years
right
for that.
now.
I could die tomorrow. Literally, I could die. It's too risky to play it safe, man. It's literally too risky to do it. You just got to go out there and jump and do it, man. You got to jump and do it. Stop procrastinating.
Yeah. Procrastination
is, oh my God, it's the killer of dreams.
Oh, read your quote. Read your quote that you told me.
Which one?
The 2 days or the 2 weeks? All right, guys, we had to grab the iPad because Adam was telling me about this law that, I don't know. I'll let him explain it. But he was telling me about this law that actually made 100% sense. So can you explain it back to me?
Yeah, so
I can't explain it.
So yes, Parkinson's Law, right? I was reading Why We Want You to Be Rich by Robert Kiyosaki and Donald Trump, those 2 guys.
Okay.
And they mentioned a law called Parkinson's Law, right? And I want to read the definition to you guys verbatim so we don't mess it up, right? So Parkinson's Law, put simply, the amount of work required adjusts to the time available for its completion. To put simply, when you put a deadline on something, that's when you typically get it done in. So if you say, hey, look, you got 2 days to finish this project, you're going to finish that project in how many days? 2 days. If somebody says, you know what, you have 2 weeks to finish this project, most likely you're going to finish that project in how long?
2 weeks. But you'll probably finish at the end of the 2 weeks.
More than likely, right? Because it took that much time, quote unquote. Or somebody say you got 2 months to get this done. Mm-hmm. It's going to take you about 2 months to get it done. That's just how it works, man. And in my mind, that's the same thing as building a business. When you put a deadline on something, on your goals, it forces you to get it done. So for me, based on all my triggers and stuff, right? I told myself, hey, look, Adam, by the age of 35, you want to be done working.
100%.
Like, you want to be retired in a position where, hey, look, money ain't an issue. If you want to work, you can, but you don't have to do anything. But again, that's a deadline for me. And that's always been my deadline for the past, 5-10 years. I've always been like, at age 35, I want to be done. Again, that's Parkinson's Law, right? I'll get it done by that time frame because I put a deadline on it. And I'm focused on that deadline each and every day when I wake up. But Parkinson's Law, again, is proven to be true. That's an old law, but it's a real law. So apply it to your life. How can you apply it to your life? Mm-hmm. Like, what are your triggers? How those triggers make you feel, right? Then once you understand what your goals are, put a deadline on it. Just don't say, I want to be an entrepreneur. Like, just don't say that, right? Because that's just nothing. Like, put a date and goal on your business. I want to grow my business to X amount in the next 24 months. Like, that's a deadline. Yeah. Like, now, guess what's going to happen?
It's going to grow in 24 months.
You're going to find a way to get this business built in 24 months if you're focused on it. That's Parkinson's Law, man. Mm-hmm. That's what it is.
That's what it is. I love when he gets to talk about his little business, y'all. Big business. I hate when people be like, I feel like that's a little shade when people go, ooh, I like your little shoes. Ooh, you doing good in your little business.
You doing good in your little business.
I think that's a little shade.
I see your little videos.
Yeah, I see your little videos. So big business, big videos, all that stuff. If y'all remember about at the beginning of the year, we did these vision boards. This is actually Adam's. And this is all his goals for 2021. Now we only have 11 months left. We are in February 1st, 2021.
Yes.
And let's see what he's got going on so far. Let's see where we're at. I'm going to turn it around for a second. I'll flash it back to you guys. Number 1, we have the power to make a difference. Here's how. Impact. I'm going to say he's already working on that because he's getting a lot of feedback on his videos and how it's making an impact on people every day.
Yeah.
All right. The real action is off the field. Try it. He wakes up every morning by like 3 o'clock. So I think that's already putting in action off of the field. So what you guys don't see in behind the scenes, he's already doing that. And I'm just making a point to what he did. He wrote his visions down. He's working on them. And like he said, if you put it down, you put a plan in place, you'll get that goal, you know? Let's see. Connected. Not that one yet. So, okay. So 2 off of the board. You go. He got about 17 on here, 17 things, and he's already marked 2 down, and it's only February. Okay. But like these are his goals, and he already put a plan in place at the beginning of the year, and he's following through on everything that he's writing down on this board. So I personally just wanted to jump in and show you guys this, and I'm going to show you guys this every single month. On the 1st of every month, I want you guys to see what progress we've made, what things we checked off. We checked this off. We're checking this off, and we're going to keep on going, traveling the world.
That's coming.
That's coming. We're traveling. And all the other stuff is coming. But for now, I just want y'all to count this stuff down with us. So when we hit the end of the year and all the board is completed and everything has been done, I want you guys to follow the success.
Good deal. Good deal. Talk about the success, man. Talk about the success. Again, a couple things actually happened recently that we can talk about. Like we were supposed to talk about last week. My old job, Verizon Wireless. I think at the end of last week, they had a major layoff. And that major layoff included general managers, so the role I was in, district managers, high corporate people as well too. Like when other people are in control of the decisions, like they pretty much control your life from a standpoint, right? Anytime. Like letting somebody be in control of whether your family eats or not. That's what you're risking when you're playing around in corporate America. I know COVID-19 later that had a huge impact across the country in terms of people who had high paying jobs who lost those jobs. Now they had to settle for other low paying jobs and pick up a part time gig like Uber Eats or shopping for groceries for people, all that stuff, right? Because it happens because you putting your fate and your future and your freedom essentially in the hands of somebody else you don't even know.
You're a slave to corporate America. That's when we talk about corporate America slavery.
People who love their corporate America job, you stay in them. Like, love them, hold them, cherish them, rub up on them a little bit. Do all that stuff, man. Do all that stuff. But understand one thing, for those who are uncomfortable in corporate America, uncomfortable being, something's triggering me here. If you're uncomfortable in a situation, nothing's going to change until you decide to change it. That's pretty much what it is. Like, and there's another saying that I want to say real quick, and I read it in the book again, and it was something very simple, and it said, whatever you don't do today, you're less likely to do tomorrow. Okay, procrastination again. Yeah. If I say, man, like I'm gonna start building me a business next year, chance of you starting to build a business next year is unlikely
because it approaches so quickly. Time flies quicker than we know. And when you keep putting it off, procrastinating, like you come up to your deadline, now you don't have your plan in place, and now you're like, oh man, okay, well maybe next year. And then next year comes, and then next year comes, and then next year comes. And then now you're 50, and now you feel like you can't do it anymore because now you have grandkids that you want to buy stuff for, and you feel like you can't quit your job.
Listen, man, listen. Whatever you don't do today, like you're less likely to do tomorrow.
And I just want to put this little nugget in there. Please do not say like, I want to start a business or I want to start doing social media or, literally anything. I want to start being a better parent, like anything. And then go look at other people and then say, well, I love how they're doing it. So I'm going to wait until I can get how they're doing it to start it. Like, no, first of all, it won't be as successful because, again, it is a story that's already been written. So you need to start now. Don't worry about how it looks. Don't worry about how it sounds. Just put it out there. And from there, they always say, if you don't look back on your content and think that it's trash, you started too late. So I look at our content all the time that like we started in August when we first started.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh my God, what was I doing with this content?
Yeah.
But I mean, that's what I'm saying. Like, don't compare yourself to others when you're ready to start your business or entrepreneurship, or I mean, literally whatever. Just don't compare. I want to say that because a lot of people compare themselves to others when they're doing stuff.
I think that's big, man. So don't compare yourself to other people. Playing it safe is a risky business, right? And what are your triggers? Like, what's your trigger word? What's your trigger phrase? What can somebody say right now that can make you extremely uncomfortable and force you to start thinking different? What is it?
I'm gonna take your man.
Whatever, and keep saying that over and over and over in your head, right? Keep using that trigger and build on that trigger. That's your foundation. Like, whatever that trigger word is, that's your foundation, man. So what's your trigger? That's my shotgun. My other hand over here.
I would say, you shoot my head.
I mean, what's your trigger, man? Know your triggers. Anything you
Know
want
your
to say?
triggers. I'm trying to think. Does that relate back to? I read a devotional the other day, and by the way, again, y'all are here to learn us. Y'all are here to learn about business, and just know who Adam and Amber are. And so we're completely honest with you. I have anger issues. Now, not to the point of nobody likes me. I'm very friendly to people. A lot of people like me, actually. But my anger is a problem. And so he got me reading daily devotionals on anger because he says, hey, you need to control it because I can go very quickly, like no remorse.
Mm-hmm.
And when I was reading my devotional, the man who was teaching it actually said, don't think about what angered you. Think about why it angered you and why it bothered you. So if you think about back to the time that you got angry, don't think of the person you got angry at. Think about why it made you angry. Think about why that person could trigger you to get angry. And that starts your trigger points. So like when I think about why I get angry, a lot of times it is based on him. Like I don't really get angry about a lot if it's not dealing with my family at all. So I know like, hey, that's my trigger. He doesn't get angry about a lot of stuff unless it's about me, or you tell, or his kids, or you tell him he can't do something, or you tell him you're better than him. He don't like that either. So that's his trigger. And when he heard certain statements, he was like, y'all got me messed up. And that triggered him to go into entrepreneurship. So I would say that, just like you said, identify your triggers, see what really angers you, and move from there. You'll figure it out from there.
Absolutely. I think you summed that up. You put a bow on that, almost perfectly.
Hey.
You tied it up good, man. You tied it up perfectly. Understanding your triggers, man. And my only regret is when I heard my trigger phrase or trigger word, I didn't move fast enough. Amber just talked about it. Time flies, right? You got 24 hours in each and every day, but it feels like you only have about 6 or 7 sometimes when it is.
Correct.
When you have things to do, you're trying to actually do something actively every day, time flies, literally. So if you have a job working 40 hours a week, your time really flies. Mm-hmm. Like, because you got kids, you got to go to work, you got to,
cook dinner.
You got to cook dinner, you got to work out. There's some people working out, some people,
help the kids with homework.
Help the kids with homework, study your religion, your faith, right? Grow spirit, all that stuff.
And they can't get all that stuff done because they don't have enough time in the day.
They try to.
They don't. That's the point.
And time flies by. Like, time literally, that clock's ticking. They just speed up, next thing you know, you're 30. Shout out my 30-year-old men, man. Like 30 and up, man. 30 and up club. This is the point in time you start making decisions. If you haven't made decisions yet, trust me, because I know all my friends are in that same, 30 and up age bracket now. Like all my close friends are 30 and up. And they all got that same clock spinning in their head. Because I think at the age of 30, for men anyway, that's the age like, you know what? I got to have it figured out. I got to be married by 30. I got to have kids by 30. I got to be rich by 30. Like all that stuff. When 30 hits and you're not married, don't have kids, and ain't rich, you thinking like, man, my life is in a tailspin. Don't worry. Like, it's not. Like, you still have time. Right? Every day you wake up, you still have time to accomplish your goals. But again, your goals need to be laid out plain, envisioned. Needs to be a deadline on your goals. And you got to understand what triggers you, man. Like, what gets you riled up? What gets you fired up? Like, what gets you, like, what can you say to me right now that'll make me quit my job? That's what you think. Like, what can you say to me right now that'll cause me to start building a business the next day? To start seeking passive income, to start seeking freedom, to start seeking time freedom, money, all that stuff. Like, what can somebody say to do it? So listen, man, to all my 30-year-old men, Dirty 30 Club, 30 and up. The main key things are Write the vision, make it plain. Next thing you want to do is put a date on it. Put a deadline on your goals. Like, hey, look, I have to have this done by this date, this time.
No exception.
No exceptions. But most importantly, where it all starts at, you have to know what triggers you, right? You have to know what gets you riled up, what gets you fired up. You got to know when to pull the trigger. Is it time to pull the trigger? Come on, man.
If you've watched this whole video, again, thank you to you. We're grateful and we're thankful. We have nothing without you guys. So the little bit of support that we get, whether it's 8 views or 100 views or 10 views, who cares? As long as we can touch one person, we are happy. But if you're watching this video, we want you to...
If you're watching on Facebook, give it the little red heart, man. If you're watching on Instagram, make sure you go ahead and double tap it. If you're watching it on YouTube, you need to do a couple things, right? You need to first like it.
Mm-hmm.
You need to subscribe to our channel.
Yes.
And lastly, like the most important thing you can do, I don't care which platform you're watching it on, like the most important thing you can do is share it. Right? The most important thing you can do is be a blessing to somebody else. You may not need the message, but there could be somebody out in the United States of 330 million people who need to hear what we're talking about.
I'm sure it's 10 people who need to hear it.
I'm sure. We're only looking for 10. I'm pretty sure out of 330 million, 10 people need to hear this message. So be that person, man. Be that beacon of light for somebody else, right? Share the message to them. Share the content to them. Again, we're grateful. We're thankful. Humbly, we ask you guys, continue being blessed, and more blessings to come back to you.
We out, baby.
If you enjoyed this video, please like, comment, subscribe, and we'll be back soon.